Welcome to Homestead Reptile, and here's a little bit of an update on the gecko collection. So I am trimming the fat. I've raised up quite a few juveniles to sub-adults, and I'm basically just going through the sub-adults and seeing which ones I see are not going to fit projects, that I shouldn't waste my time on certain ones, it's better to just, in some instances, it is better, especially if you're working with a smaller collection and you don't want to house a bunch of animals forever, to just buy a slightly better gecko that someone else has put in all that time and effort into. So my dark projects, I'm going to be getting a couple more dark geckos. Getting rid of some dark geckos that are just not meeting snuff. Getting rid of a few pattern geckos. I'm just not super into pattern geckos. They're not my thing. So just getting rid of some geckos and making some more room. And I'm going to be focusing on getting a few other species of New Caledonian geckos. So I've bought my first gargoyle gecko. It's an unsexed baby. Reticulated orange blotch gecko. They were purchased from the Netherlands to increase like bloodlines, blah, blah, blah. So they come from gold line Cresties. They should be being shipped out this Monday. They should be arriving on Tuesday, so I'll do an unboxing and we'll give it a good review. And I'll tell you how that goes. But why I picked a reticulated blotch gecko and the gargoyle geckos versus the stripes or some of the other mutations that are out there. Now, there's not really many morphs, or I guess there's probably actually 0 morphs actually right now with gargoyle geckos. It's a lot of polymorphic traits versus crested geckos. There's a lot more morphs. Like, for example, we have Dalmatian. That is an actual morph. A Dalmatian, you breed one Dalmatian to another Dalmatian, you get a spottier Dalmatian. Or you breed a Dalmatian to a non-Dalmatian, you still get Dalmatians. Lily White's a great example. Phantom's a great example. But there's just more morphs, more color mutations, and more head shapes, and more fun things to do with crested geckos versus gargoyle geckos. I do like that they have their little horns. But there's just not as much interesting things to do with them. So I found they do regenerate their tails. That's pretty nice. I wish crested geckos would do that, but they don't. So I'm getting my first gargoyle gecko. I'm really excited about that. I'll probably slowly start introducing some different species of New Caledonian geckos. So the next gecko on my list would be either a chameleon gecko, a Chihuahua gecko, or a Sarasahoran. Not really. I would like to get a chameleon first, then a Sarah, then a Chihuahua. Then I might get the Bovalvis gecko, which is also a New Caledonian gecko. Then maybe the giant Leetianus, and that's a 50-50. I'm kind of like, maybe not. We'll have to think about that. But just to have a little bit more variety, I love that all New Caledonian gecko care is very, very similar to each other. Just maybe a slight tweak in temperature, maybe a slight tweak in food, the variety of food. But it is so similar. I love that. It makes sense because they live on an island together, so it's going to be about the same. But if this was interesting to you, like and subscribe and leave a comment.